Hello my friend, welcome back to my video. Today I want to tell you about legendary figure called Genghis Khan and his some facts that you may not know. But who is Genghis Khan? Genghis Khan is a name that resonates with all who have heard of his harrowing exploits. Genghis Khan became famous as the Mongolian warrior ruler who built the largest land empire in the world, remembered for his ruthlessness and bloodlust, and for his purported millions of genealogical descendants. He left a broad and surprising legacy. Now, here are 10 surprising facts about him. 1. Genghis wasn't his real name. Born in Delm Bulldog in 1162, became the Mongolian emperor in 1206, and died in 1227 at the age of 65. He did get the honorific name Genghis Khan until 1206, when he was proclaimed leader of the Mongols at a tribal meeting known as a Kurultai. While Khan is a traditional title meaning leader or ruler, historians are still unsure of the origins of Genghis. It may have meant ocean or just, but in context, it is usually translated as supreme ruler or universal ruler. 2. He had a rough childhood. From an early age, Genghis was forced to contend with the brutality of life on the Mongolian steppe. Rival Tatars poisoned his father when he was only 9, and his own tribe. Later expelled his family and left his mother to raise her 7 children alone. Genghis grew up hunting and foraging to survive, and as an adolescent, he may have even murdered his own half-brother in a dispute over food. During his teenage years, rival clans abducted both he and his young wife, and Genghis spent time as a slave before making a daring escape. Despite all these hardships, by his early 20s, he had established himself as a formidable warrior and leader. After amassing an army of supporters, he began forging alliances with the heads of important tribes. By 1206, he had successfully consolidated the steppe confederations under his banner and began to turn his attention to outside conquest. 3. There is no definitive record of what he looked like. For an influential figure, very little is known about Genghis Khan's personal life or even his physical appearance. No contemporary portraits or sculptures of him have survived. Most accounts describe him as tall and strong with a flowing mane of hair and a long, bushy beard. 4. Some of his most trusted generals were former enemies. The great Khan had a keen eye for talent, and he usually promoted his officers on skill and experience rather than class, ancestry, or even past allegiances. 5. He rarely left a score unsettled. Genghis Khan often gave other kingdoms a chance to peacefully submit to Mongol rule, but he didn't hesitate to bring down the sword on any society that resisted. One of his most famous campaigns of revenge came in 1219 after the Shah of the Khwarezmian Empire broke a treaty with the Mongols. Genghis had offered the Shah a valuable trade agreement to exchange goods along the Silk Road. But when his first emissaries were murdered, the enraged Khan responded by unleashing the full force of his Mongol hordes on the Khwarezmid territories in Persia, leaving millions dead, and the Shah's empire completely destroyed. Then Genghis Khan returned east and launched war against the Shijiatangits, a group of Mongols who refused his orders to provide troops for an invasion of Khwarezm. After that, Genghis Khan ordered the execution of the entire Tangit royal family as punishment for their defiance. 6. He was responsible for the deaths of as many as 40 million people. Some historians say about 40 million people were killed during the Mongol conquest. Overall, the Mongol attacks may have reduced the world's population by as much as 11%. 7. He was tolerant of different religions. Unlike many empire builders, Genghis Khan embraced the diversity of his newly conquered territories. He passed laws declaring religious freedom for all and even granted tax exemptions to places of worship. This tolerance had a political side. Khan knew that happy subjects were less likely to rebel. The Mongols also had an exceptionally liberal attitude towards religion. 8. He installed one of the first international postal systems. Along with the bow and the horse, the Mongols' most potent weapon may have been their vast communication network. One of his earliest decrees as Khan involved the formation of a mounted courier service known as the Yam. This medieval express consisted of a well-organized series of post houses and way stations strung out across the whole of the empire. by stopping to rest or take on a fresh mount every few miles. Official riders could often travel as far as 200 miles a day. The system allowed goods and information to travel with unprecedented speed, but it also acted as the eyes and ears of the Khan. 9. No one knows how he died or where he is buried. Of all the enigmas surrounding Khan's life, perhaps the most famous concerns how it ended. The traditional narrative says he died in 1227 from injuries sustained in a fall from a horse. But other sources list everything from malaria to an arrow wound in the knee. However he died, Khan took great pains to keep his final resting place a secret. The tomb is most likely on or around a Mongolian mountain called Birkenholden, but to this day its precise location is unknown. 10. The Soviets tried to snuff out his memory in Mongolia. Genghis Khan is now seen as a national hero and founding father of Mongolia. But during the era of Soviet rule in the 20th century, the mere mention of his name was banned. Hoping to stamp out all traces of Mongolian nationalism, the Soviets tried to suppress the Khan's memory by removing his story from school textbooks and forbidding people from making pilgrimages to his birthplace in Khenti. Genghis Khan was eventually restored to Mongolian history after the country won independence in the early 1990s. And he's since become a recurring motif in art and popular culture. That's some facts about the mighty Genghis Khan that you may not know. If you like the video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.